All right. Good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, also co-creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. Thanks so much for joining us wherever you're watching from. I'm here at 2025 CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, and I have a terrific guest on tap for you, as well as an interesting product that is an innovative, inflatable, a flood a barrier designed to protect doorways, windows, and garage entrances from flooding. It's lightweight. It's very compatible in terms of its uses. So without further ado, I love to welcome, as you can see here with me, Alex Cammarano from FlowStop Industries. Alex, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you for having us on the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just checking in. I know we were talking about it offline, and just share like how has the experience of CES been thus far? I know you said you came in on Saturday. Have you had a chance to do anything between now and then, or has it been strictly business up until now?
It's been just business up till now. Yeah. Hopefully today we'll take some time to chill and maybe explore a little bit more of Vegas. We have the French team here. They've never been to Vegas, so we need to show them around a little bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So tell me about what we have here. As I said, you have a fascinating product that you have here behind you, known as FlowStop, which is a flood barrier device. So tell us more about it, please.
Yeah, I mean it's designed to save houses, buildings, whether it's residential or commercial, from flooding. And if you've had to face flooding and has to fight it, you know how sneaky water can be. It is really hard. And not only it's hard to fight water and to prevent it from coming into your building, but it's touching everybody. Lately, it's been 51 million Americans that are at risk for flooding. So it's not a small issue. It's I think up to 5 billion of dollar of loss an average every year in the U.S. alone. So it's a big issues. I was in Florida for the last couple of months right after the two hurricanes, and it's horrific to see the entire lives of people sitting in front of their house because water came in and destroyed everything. So it's a big problem, and with climate change, it's a problem that's going to get worse and worse. And so here is a new solution to protect buildings from flooding. And to talk about what set this product apart, it's important to talk about what's existing on the market, right? Because right now there's very few solution, and the only solution we have are heavy, bulky, hard to store. The logistic of it is a nightmare. They're hard to install. Most people can do it on their own, so they use sandbag. And when you have a bad flooding, that's not gonna cut it. Right? It's a great, first thing to try, but it's not gonna really save your house. So FlowStop, two French engineer in 2019 came up with this idea to use drop stitch. And I know you know drop stitch. Drop stitch is what your paddleboard is made of, for example. So it's been out for a long time and everybody uses it. So we use drop stitch to have an inflatable that has the strength to push against the frame of your door and make your doorway completely waterproof and hold the water. So we have two cushion. You can see here a bottom cushion and a top cushion. But the first thing you probably notice is I'm talking about a flood barrier, and I can lift it with one arm, and that's already unique. That's what set it apart. It's light. It's easy to move around. This one is inflated, so it's really hard. But when it's deflated, it's very easy to fold. It's very easy to store and to keep in your garage.
Excellent, excellent. And immediately, I appreciate that you were able to show us that because when we're thinking about, I know I was talking with some other folks offline, and right now, even currently, back at home, we're dealing with something that could possibly be a flood issue with snow. Once the snow melts, is going to end up being an issue potentially with flooding. So I could already see the applications, but outside of what you share with us with its features of being light and all of that, are there any other ones that you're also excited about that you guys are continuing to adapt and tweak that are still on the way?
Yeah, and so we are, adding more technology to it to, for example, in the future, have sensor on your flow stop that guarantee that it stays at the same pressure over many months, and that you could know, like if you're not living in Florida, for example, because it's a lot of our clients, you live you live away and you only come in the winter, you want your flow stop to be installed in your house, and you want to be having peace of mind. You know, they're there, they're installed for 6 months, and if floods comes, they'll protect your house. So we want to put sensor that's gonna make sure the pressure stays at the right pressure to protect your house. So there's a bunch of innovation that we're gonna come up with. Um, Also moving, and I'm gonna keep this one in my pocket for next year, so we can
Yes.
talk about it
Okay,
next
all
year.
right.
But
Sounds good. I love it. I love it. We're already planning for next year.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. But with all of that said, can you tell folks, what does it look like? I know the immediate thing that people always ask. Okay, all of that's great. We love that it has all these features. When can we have it, or when can it be available?
And it is available. It should be available tomorrow on our Amazon webpage. But right now, if you go to flowstopfloodbarrier.com, you can already purchase. So they're all custom made. The way it works is you measure the size of your opening, and based on that size, you give us the width. Then you decide how tall you want them, because they're all custom made. They can be as long or as tall as you need, depending on where you are. In Florida, we make them a little taller because those hurricane brings a lot of water. But depending on, if it's a snow melt flooding, you probably don't need to have a 4 feet tall barrier. So we adjust that based on where you are and what's your need, right? So you measure your opening, and then you send us the measurement, and we charge 60 cents per square inch. So you just measure 8 by width times 60 cents.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, at the top, I'm going to bring us back to it. At the top, we were talking about, being able to balance leisure with business, right? And so, it's always fun to be able to, talk with all the folks that I have here on the show. Obviously, you have your product here, and there is a great deal of business that is happening this week for you, and discussing your product. But are you going to have a way to balance it out with stuff that you want to do? Obviously, I'm sure you're a fan of much of the stuff that's here at CES, and being able to still check it out as a fan. So if there is, what is it, and what are you looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward. It's my first time at CES, and
Oh, there you go.
so I'm really excited to walk the show. I've been in tech for a little over 12 years. I got my first check from a VC, I think it was 2014, for my first startup. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I was working on a keynote I have to do on Friday. And I was thinking, right after I got that check, we celebrated with friends.
Yes.
And in the conversation, I remember saying, I have two goal for the future. It would be to bring a company public. So apparently the average year is 45 years, so I have some time to get there,
Okay,
and to do either a TED talk or tech talk at CES. And so it's my first CES, and I'm doing a keynote on Friday. So that's sort of leisure, right? It's a personal goal. So I'm excited about that. But I'm really excited to walk the show and see the innovation, especially 2025. I mean, there's so much unbelievable innovation. I mean,
yeah. I mean, we were just talking about it, right? We were talking about some folks that have been here the last couple of years, and it's always great to see how that progression has had in terms of their journey too.
yeah, yeah, going to the keynote tonight for Nvidia, that's something really, I'm really excited. I mean, AI is so huge. Like, the thing we thought was impossible where we're kid is just ordinary today, and all of that is condensed here in 1 week. So I'm really excited.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, Alex, thank you so much for your time, man. Really do appreciate it. There you guys have it. We have Flow Stop here. We have Alex here from Flow Stop Industries. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.